In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to get what you want from majority of the women that you are dating. And so many men, I think, get these things wrong. So I want you to stay here with me. So if you are attracting women and you want to attract more women into your life because you can't really make it stick, or you want to get better at just attraction overall and get the woman that you desire, then I want you to stay here in this video. So I'm going to give you the step-by-step process on how to do this and really maybe uncover some things that you're doing wrong so you can flip the switch and not do that whatsoever, right? All right, so before we get started, hello, gentlemen. My name is Apollonia Ponti. I'm a dating, relationship, and life coach for men. I've been doing this work for over 8 years now and love what I do. And if you are a first-time subscriber, well, welcome here. So click that subscribe button right now. And to my loyal followers, thank you for subscribing, comment below, as I love interacting with you, and like this video as well. All right, so let's get into it. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a step-by-step process. I'm gonna give you step one in regards to really how to get a woman that you really want. And I'm going to tell you why this step is important. So step one is I want you to switch always asking a woman, like, hey, are you available on Friday? But more like expecting, right? Not from a place where it's like you're always going to treat her like you're always expecting it, but women are drawn. I want you to remember, women are drawn to certainty from a man. We're drawn to confidence from a man. We're drawn to a man that is not afraid to claim something. It makes us feel empowered as a woman, especially when a woman is attracted to you. So for example, if you're asking her, hey, can I take you out on Friday night? Ask her this instead. Friday night drinks? Question mark. Or you can say something like, Friday night I'll be at blank, 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 XYZ. Join me, question mark. Join me for drinks, join me for dinner, right? You want to switch from expecting. And if she says like she can on Friday, then hopefully she'll tell you when she can. If she says that she can on Friday, then you just say, oh, well, that's a shame. We'll have to plan for next time. And then see and leave it open. See if she's like next time, okay, well, I am available on Sunday. And if she doesn't really initiate a response from that, see if I'm feeling next time, let it be. Let some time pass and then try again, okay? Typically when a woman is interested, we have to really focus on that she will initiate, okay? There's so many women out there, I think, too, that think like, oh, a man has to pursue me and has to like guess all the dots and pick the perfect date for me and tell me the time and tell me the date and I'm never going to say this. Well, those women shouldn't even get your attention anymore, okay? We're not playing this game anymore with women. And I want women to understand too, there's none that watch this video probably, but women need to start understanding, and I've seen a lot of good coaches for women talk about this, is that when a man pursues you, you have to also initiate. And so there's too many women out there, I think, too, but there's not a lot. Like there's a lot of women that are actually doing the opposite too. Want to give that as well out there. But there's too many women that expect a man to just do everything, where they just don't initiate, meaning, oh, I'm available on Friday, let's make it work. And she's like, oh, I'm not available Friday, but I am available on Sunday. Great. But if she's like, I'm not available on Friday, and that's it. And she just wants you to do all this guessing work and she wants you to chase her. Men, this is the woman we don't pay attention to anymore. We need to work together. Step number two is you are not to treat a woman in the beginning stages of dating as a priority right away, okay? You want to treat her as an option. There's two differences. A priority is first come, I give attention. A priority is I'm going to move around my life, give attention. I'm going to put my goals on the side, give attention. A priority is I'm going to make it work, I give attention. I have limited options, I give attention. That's where a priority comes in. That's not where we're going to be. An option is I enjoy this girl's looks, I enjoy her company, let's see what she's all about. An option is I'm going to pursue this woman and hopefully she'll initiate my pursuit. And if she doesn't, I move on. An option is let me take my time with this woman and see what she's all about, because I have to also see if she's more beyond her looks and beauty and she has a right mindset. An option is I stick to my goals and my purpose in my life, and I don't maneuver that for her, especially in the beginning stages. An option is I don't fix all of her things that are going on in her life, like with her ex-boyfriend, and I don't become her emotional crutch. A priority, on the other hand, would do that. You see what I mean, gentlemen? So those are the things that we're going to stop doing and then becoming. We treat her as an option before she becomes the priority. And a woman does deserve to be a priority when she makes a place in your life. But what many men are doing differently that's not good, and not getting what you want from a woman is you're not treating her as an option in the beginning. You have to understand that as human psychology, as human nature, is when we're treated and we treat ourselves as a limited resource, we become more of a higher opportunity for someone else to invest in. And if you don't believe that you're a limited resource, then why? Many times it's because we haven't developed a life that we love. Step number 3, you're using logic versus emotional attraction. Okay, so you're not using the two. So for example, you're thinking that in order to attract a woman, we have to have a lot in common. So we both love French food. We both love the color brown. We both love to do MMA fighting. I don't know. We love to go bicycling. We love to hike. We love to travel. We've been to the same places. Oh my gosh, her mom went to the same college my mother did and my father did. Wow, like she comes from a family that their parents were married for 20 years, just like mine were married for 20 years, are married for 20 years, right? So we think like a logical attraction is what's going to attract a woman. No, you just become safe with logical attraction. You want to understand emotional attraction is a high and a low. You want to give a woman a high and a low. You want to tease, you want to banter, you want to flirt, you want to take away an opportunity. Because if you're a limited resource, you're not always available, right? You want to take away the woman's opportunity, but you want to be certain when you are approaching her in the way you pursue her. So for example, when you speak to her, instead of saying something like, on a date, what's a common question? So, what do you like to do for fun? Okay, that's great and all, but if we continue to have those type of questions on our date, we don't have intrigue behind who we are. We don't become that mystery, right? Mystery is not about absence. Mystery is about what goes on in his head, that he's so confident and he's so witty that he can say these things, right? So instead of saying like, what do you do for fun? You can say like, you seem like a girl that will enroll in a salt Pilates. And she's like, salt Pilates? What is that? I don't know. I saw this thing, it's called salt Pilates, and it's like they have like these salt water tanks, and then they have this like saltwater rocks, and you do Pilates, and it's very like, they say very like spiritual, and you just seem like a girl that would do this saltwater Pilates. And she's like, oh my God, maybe I would. And then you're like, is that what you like to do for fun? You see what I mean? Like you're testing her. You're making her think about what she would prove to you, what she would do. So this is the difference between a man that understands attraction, is he's making her think that she has to somewhat prove something to him, and also that he is looking at her differently. Instead of a man that's just going with the flow and saying, what do you do for fun? He'll sit here and say instead and ask a question like, you seem like a girl that likes to go hiking and then have a beer afterwards. What type of beer do you like? And she's like, I don't really like beer. Oh, well, then I got that wrong. What do you like? Or she's like, how did you know? Right? There you go. You see how the conversation is just completely different because you're speaking with intrigue and you're also speaking with emotion. Gentlemen, when you're asking, what do you do for fun? Where have you traveled to? That's not emotion. Emotion can sound like this. I want to share something with you. And you captivate her attention. She's like, okay, that's a confident man. Sitting on a date saying, I want to share something with you. Okay, sure. I went to Machu Picchu, and you know Machu Picchu is one of the finest world wonders. Like everybody says you have to go there. And literally, I was scared for my life when I went up that bus on Machu Picchu, but it was the highest I feel like I've ever been to God. Boom, emotion. Now you're going to find out so much about her, where she's traveled to, if she knows about Machu Picchu, if she even has some world ethics behind her, and also too, she believes in God with you. Boom. You don't have to ask questions, but you're sharing. So this is the difference between a man that understands attraction and a man that doesn't understand attraction. And this is where a man, I want you to think about what I just said. If you're a man sitting in a chair talking like this, you're not in a prove mentality. What you are in right now is just let me see what she's all about. You are in the option mentality. She is an option. She is not the priority yet, right? The priority becomes like, I have to impress her. Do you see the difference, gentlemen? I hope so. Comment below if you do. All right. The next one is we have to understand how to make a woman feel emotion. So these questions and these statements that I'm showing you are going to kind of pull the emotion out of a woman a little bit, right? So number 4 is we need to create a feeling like as if she's coming to you a little bit more. Like, you know, a lot of men miss this opportunity. And I talk about this so much on this channel. And it's something that actually my husband did with me in the attraction process with us, okay? One thing is my husband was available, but his time was limited. And I knew that because he was a busy man. And he made sure to voice that his time was limited, but he always planned the dates. And I always, if I couldn't make it on Friday, then I would tell him when I could. And he would sometimes maneuver his schedule, or he said he couldn't but do dinner, but we can do drinks at 9 because he had a meeting. You see what I mean? Like he would never finagle anything in his schedule for me in the beginning stages. But then he made me invest in him for me to prove subconsciously. So for example, my husband back then, 10 years ago, had just moved to France. He had a social security number, he had all of it, but he didn't establish credit yet. And I was working for a bank back then. And he asked me, hey, can you help me build credit? Because this is something I did in banking. I said, sure. I had to invest in that man to help him build his credit in the beginning stages of dating. And it showed me and it showed him how I was able to earn him, right? And so your attention is limited, but not always guaranteed, gentlemen. And so, for example, those examples that I gave you, you can only fake it if you don't have a life that you created that you can be limited in. You have to have hobbies, a social life. You have to have a purpose. You have to have work. You have to have health and fitness in mind. You have to have that mindset. And this is something also that my husband works with my clients on, is just a lot of men come to me for this. And I think a lot of times men should be working with men on this, and I help with attraction as well. And this is where I come in, is with attraction. I've done a video about this already. So one thing I want you to realize too, gentlemen, is when you have a woman invest in you a little bit, it gives her the desire to want to please you, to want to be accepted, to want to be liked. And also it gives her the desire to also step into her feminine, and there's nothing wrong with it. So for example, let's say that one day you guys are driving and you're like, this coffee spot has the best banana bread I've ever tasted in iced coffee. And she's like, really, what do you usually get? And you're like, I usually get the vanilla iced coffee and the banana bread, and it has like veggies in it. It's pretty healthy for the most part. And whenever I get time, I'd love to just stop in there and get it. And she's like, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden you're like, one day, if you ever got me that would put a lot of notches on your belt. I would give you a lot of brownie points if you ever just surprise me with that, because it's literally my favorite food. You planted the seed in her ear. A week or two later, she brings you the banana bread and vanilla ice latte, whatever. You see, you're always also testing a woman's interests. You're also testing her to come to you. You're also making her a part of your life as well. You're showing her the things that you like, maybe taking her to a hockey game. Maybe she's never been to a game before. Maybe doing things that, that are part of your life, right? And so this is what a lot of men actually take away from their dating opportunities, and they don't get women to want them and stick because you're not doing this. But I'm going to give you also 3 psychological tricks that you're going to do also too when you follow this these 4 steps, okay? One of the things that you don't want to miss out on. So for example, when she gave you this latte and banana bread, you want to reward her. Men sometimes forget to reward good behavior because it also subconsciously shows a woman how to treat you, right? So for example, you want to reward her. You want to do something she likes. You want to give her more attention. You want to validate her beauty. You want to do something in those moments. When she does something right, you reward her, okay? And the next thing is, not only are you letting things become her idea, like her bringing the coffee and things like that, but you want to plant seeds and see if she's paying attention. So she secretly thinks that things are her idea of the way to attract you, right? And that's the most important part, I think, out of all the steps was number 4, because psychologically, when we think that we are attracting somebody, it's because we're working for them because as a woman, we like him. Okay. And none of this stuff can be overnight. You have to pace through it. And you want to be spontaneous, right? You really want to be spontaneous at times. So for example, let's say it's Thursday night and you're like, hey, it's been a late day at work. It's been a hard day at work. I'm out of here by 7. You want to grab dinner? Don't be afraid to be spontaneous sometimes with your woman that you like, right? Be spontaneous. Maybe you haven't planned a date. You haven't seen her in 3 or 4 days. Maybe you haven't talked to her in a day. This is the time to be spontaneous, and then let's go back in. But I want to talk about the number 1 thing that kills all of a man's power. All of it, okay? Actually, there's probably 2 things in here, but they kind of all relate. So number 1, the number 1 thing that kills your power, kills attraction for all men is you being attached to an outcome too early on with a woman, putting her on a pedestal because you think that she is just so beautiful. And this is obviously like the woman of your dreams, but yet you know nothing about her and you made up this fantasy story about her. And you just keep on asking for validation in a way for you to continue to accept that you can continue to pursue her, So you're basically asking her validation that you can continue to date her, that you can continue to see her. You're asking her, how do you think things are going? Or do you like me? Or do you think this is nice on me? Do you find me handsome, right? These type of validation things a woman should be asking because this is more feminine, right? We want a man that already knows his placement and stands in it. That's the difference. Okay. All right, gentlemen. So if you want to work with me or if you have any questions about this, I've made myself more accessible as I'm expecting baby number 2, and I'm not as much coaching when I have coaching on my website before where you can just coach with me right away. But instead, I want to have a conversation with you, and it's actually me that will be texting you. You can text me right below with the number right here, right below in the description. Text me what's going on in your life. See how I can work with you. We'll have a conversation and we'll just take it from there. Okay, gentlemen, as always, I'll see you in the next video. If you like this video, comment, like as well, and share it with a friend. I'll see you in the next one. Remember, you're always loved. Bye for now.